I extend a warm welcome to all to the third day of Agneya 2021 Nyanaknimugam. It's indeed a proud moment for the participants who are here to present their final presentation in Agneya 2021. It's a matter of honor for them as they are the 8 best presentations from around 50 presentations at national level. Congratulations and best wishes to all the candidates. Once again, a warm welcome to all. Let me introduce the judging panel of Agneya 2021 Nyanaknimugam. Dr. P.V. Giri, Professor, Kai Chigalsa Department, Vaidyaratnam Ayurveda College. Dr. Asha Karunagaran, Associate Professor, Kai Chigalsa Department, Government Ayurveda College, Kannur. Dr. Raghuram Bhatta, Director, PG Studies, Susruta Ayurveda Medical College and Hospital, Bangalore. Now, we shall move on to the final presentation and discussion of the 8 candidates. I cordially invite Dr. Ramya to coordinate the session.
चतुर्मुख समारंभां वाक्बडाचार्य मध्यमां अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तं वन्दे गुरु परम्पराम्. On this fine morning, I, Dr. Ramya S., PG Scholar of Kai Chikitsa Department, Vaidyaratnam Ayurveda College, Ollur, is pleased to welcome each and every one of you to the brainstorming scientific session Nyanaknimukham. In this occasion, the best 8 papers from those of the teaching faculties and practitioners are once again presented in order to make a detailed discussion on various but unique views put forward by the presenters. Before we get started, let me throw some light onto the purpose and scope of the session. Gastrointestinal diseases are one among the most common problems in tropical countries like India. The present seminar has been carried out to address the need for more patient-centered treatment modalities, sharing of clinicians' experiences and views, and improve the motivation of appropriate and judicious use of the medicinal health assets in the classics. Today, we have invited papers on this matter only. The atmosphere appears to be very electric. Everyone is quite excited to receive their views on this topic. I would like to start this event by inviting today's judges into this online gathering. It's really a privilege given to us that Dr. Raghuram Bhatta sir is now here as one of our members of our eminent judging panel. He's the person who had led his organization to various summits. Now I cordially invite Dr. Raghuram Bhatta sir to enlighten this event. Thank you so much for gracing this event, sir. Then I invite Dr. Asha Karunagaran, Associate Professor, Kai Chikitsa Department, Government Ayurveda College, Pariyaram, Kannur, to this occasion. She is a person of distinct vision and an idol of knowledge and experience and the inspiration to all of us. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here in this event. Then I would like to call on to this online gathering Dr. P.V. Giri sir, PhD, MSc, Professor, Kai Chikitsa Department, Vaidyaratnam Ayurveda College, Ollur. As you all know, he is a teacher par excellence, a fountainhead of illuminating ideas. We welcome you, sir, and thank you for being here, sir. Moving to the general instruction of Nyanaknimukham. In this session, the presentations will be re-telecasted followed by a discussion. Each judges may ask questions or express their opinion about the topic of presentation. As the time factor is very important, please limit the discussion part within 5 minutes. It is now the time for presentation of first paper. So I request Dr. Indu Krishna to be online at the time of presentation. Please unmute yourself after completing the video telecasting and actively participate in the discussion part by keeping your video on. Best wishes.
Respected teachers and my dear judges, today my topic of presentation is role of Yashtimadu Ghruta in the management of mucositis post-chemotherapy. Coming to the introduction, one of the most common side effects of chemotherapy is mucositis. Cancer therapy or cancer itself can cause changes in the body chemistry and can result in loss of appetite, pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and very often mucositis, which makes eating very difficult. Loss of appetite causes undesirable weight loss, loss of muscle mass and strength, and other complications. Present study is designed with an objective to explain the probable mode of action of Yashtimadhu in the management of mucositis, and it is being correlated with Asyapaga. Radiotherapy and chemotherapy, as we all know, are the prime modalities of cancer management followed nowadays. Radiotherapy and chemotherapy causes mucositis and skin reactions, which is very evident in almost all the cases following cancer management. Mucositis can in turn decrease the immunity and quality of life as well as causes poor tolerance to surgery and altered efficacy of chemotherapy and radiotherapy. We'll move on to the preparation of Yashti Ghida. Yashti Ghida is prepared according to Sneha Kalpana Vidhi using Yashti Madhu Churna, which is made into paste form, adding minimum quantity of water. Cow's ghee was heated till the water content was evaporated. Yashti Kalka was made into small balls and poured into the ghee, and 16 parts of water was added into the mixture for Ghida preparation by Sneha Paga procedure. Whole content was prepared within 3 days consecutively and filtered, and finally the Yashtimadhu Ghida, which is being used for the trial, was obtained. What is the probable mode of action? Yashtimadhu licorice is Madhura Rasa, Shida Virya and Madhura Vipaga, and it is Vada Pitta Shamaka. It is having best healing properties. It is an anti-ulcerous drug, anti-inflammatory and skin generation in activity. Ghृता is best Pitta Shamaka Dravya, which is Madhura Rasa, Shida Virya and Madhura Vipaga in nature, and Ghृता, which is best among the four snehas due to its ability to assimilate effectively the properties of all the ingredients being added without losing its own properties. So coming to the discussion, role of Ayurveda Dravyas in the management of emerging diseases and to upgrade the knowledge about single drugs in the present scenario, post chemotherapy and the comorbidities management through Ayurveda. Conclusion, Ayurveda can be helpful in the management of cancer as prophylactic, palliative, curative, and supportive therapies, and as an adjuvant therapy along with chemotherapy or radiotherapy and post-surgery care. Although the adverse effects of these treatment modalities cannot be totally avoided, Ayurvedic regimens are highly effective for managing the comorbidities. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anupriya ma'am. Next, I welcome the judges to share their thoughts. First of all, Dr. Raghuram Bhatta sir, please express your point of view on this topic. Sir.
Namaste. The topic was a nice topic, and just she has presented within the available time. It was a good presentation, but there is a scope for improvement. She just read from the PowerPoint. If she would have prepared into bullets and explained that by her own, then it would have been more impressive. And also some more points would have been added, and it was still there is a lot more to be improved. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, I invite Dr. Asha ma'am to express her thoughts.
Please unmute yourself.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Firstly, I congratulate all the winners of this great event. And in this, I have the quantity of the Yashti Madhu and Ghृta is not mentioned by Dr. Indrakrishna. And why you selected this Yashti Madhu in mucositis? The marketly available more other Ghritas are available, Vasha Ghृta, Tiktaka Ghृta and Kalyana Ghೃta. Why you choose this drug?
Hello, ma'am. Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Audible.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Why I selected this drug was your question. This is because now in our college we are running a cancer OP where we are managing comorbidities of cancer like anorexia, insomnia, and mucositis effectively. Just we have started up only 6 months back, so we are not that plenty with the patient's number. But in a case who was treated with 5-fluorouracil and the patient complained of mucositis, Yashtimadu Ghrida, which can be easily prepared, was given and effectively the result was found. So I thought of explaining the mode of action of Yashtimadu Ghrida in the treatment of mucositis. Yashtimadu Ghrida, the first idea was that it was a single drug which was easily available and easily which can be prepared. The thing can be cost effective also. So Yashtimadu Ghrida, even Sushruta Acharya explains that Ya Vedana Shastra Nipada Jada Tivran Shariran Pradunodi Jando Ghrudena Sa Shanti Mupedi Sikta Koshnena Yashti Madhugan Videna. So here Acharya explains the effect as a Vrana, Shodhana, Ropana, and Vedana Sthavana Dravya. So I thought of including this Dravya in treating mucositis, where the patient complains of severe pain in having food, and after chemotherapy we all know that they will be having decreased immunity, so immediately we'll have to cope up their health for the next cycle. So for managing the comorbidities, we thought a plan of preparing Yashtimadu Ghrida and giving it to a patient. Since it was studied in only one case, I'll not be able to confidently say that it will be working in all the cases, but it was effective in that case what we found in our hospital.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Indu Krishna. Next, I invite Dr. P.V. Giri, sir, to express his thoughts. Sir, please.
Good morning, Raghuram Bhatta sir and Asha madam. Good morning. So I didn't get a chance to say good morning to you, that's why. Anyway, Dr. Indu has done it very well. Rather than the presentation as Raghuram Bhatta sir was telling, some problems are, but the thing is that she was openly telling only this much of not sure, but they have given and selected the drug, and the rationality given for Asha's question, Asha madam's question, was very as a part of faculty or whatever it is, it's a scientific rationality you have given, and the cost effectiveness also a very important problem. And one more thing I would like to add. So the selection is very good, and because you have selected, you have given. Actually, the two questions already I have planned that has been asked by them already. And in the biological is agakarpan is mentioned. So that also you can go through. So I am not going to discuss because of lack of time. Anyway, best of luck throughout your life. Think like this. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Indu Krishna. Next,
Thank you, ma'am.
we will move on to the presentation of Dr. Arya Sugadan. Dr. Arya Sugadan, please be online.
Yes, ma'am.
Respected students, my topic of presentation is role of Panyaksara in the management of cancer. Introduction. Cancer is a genetic disease. It is caused by the changes in the gene which control our cell function, especially how they grow and divide. It is the abnormal growth of cells which tends to proliferate in an uncontrolled way, in some cases to metastasis. When come to the prevalence, out of the entire range of non-communicable disease, cancer is rated high because of its increased incidence, increased newly diagnosed disease, and estimated increase in per year death toll. Gastrointestinal cancer referred to as the malignant cells which forms in the gastrointestinal tract and accessory organs of digestion, which include biliary system, stomach, esophagus, large intestine, small intestine, rectum, and cancer, anus. Can gastrointestinal diseases cause cancer? Inflammation in your gut called as gastritis, a type of long-lasting anemia called pernicious anemia, and a growth in your stomach called polyps can make you more likely to become cancer.
Normal to cancer cells. Sometimes the normal cells may change to cancer cells, which abnormal tissue changes, which include hyperplasia, dysplasia, carcinoma in situ, neoplasia. Hyperplasia is the cells divides faster than the normal cells and extra cells build up. And there is, I know under microscope, there is a organized manner. And dysplasia is a faster tissue cell, the cells divide faster than the normal cells, extra cells build up. But here the cells look abnormal and unorganized manner. Carcinoma in situ, although in sometimes carcinoma in situ is called cancer, but it is not cancer actually, because the cells which is not, abnormal cell which is not spread to the other side, which is only invaded in the primary side. And the neoplasia is a new uncontrolled growth of cells, but it is not under the control of physiological state. These are the effective therapeutic strategies which is followed by the modern science: radical therapy, adjuvant therapy, neoadjuvant therapy, palliative therapy, and alkylating agent. Alkylating agent plays an important role in the management of GIT disorders and including cancer. We know that the treatment that the diseases will develop in an acidic environment. How to approach these deadly diseases? We have to target the cells first, and personalized treatment should be given to that particular patient by considering the state of the patient or diseases conditions. Even if it is ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, or even the gastrointestinal cancer, we have to personalized treatment should be given to that patient. And the drug should be more potent in nature and should be lytic to the cancer cells alone. And systemic alkalization is an important role in the management of GIT disorders, including cancer. We know that the Panyakshara plays an important role to make a body in alkaline nature, and it is lytic in nature and act against the tissue of faster turnover, including the cancer cells. It has the power of Kumstanashaka, but that means it delays the reproductive condition of the cells, and it arrests or delay the tumor growth, and it has the power to eliminate the acidic environment. And also it has the action of pharmacological debulking, that is to reduce the mass of the tumor. So when we during the time of Panyakshara or administration of Panyakshara, we have to ask the patient to take a strict dietary regimen, which includes Shashtika Yavagu and Vodana, diluted milk as drink, Ardraka Panajaram, and total abstinence from the Amla Rasa Dravya, which includes the Takara. Even citrus fruit should be avoided during the time of administration of Panyakshara. So when come to the discussion, we know that the disease will originate in an acidic environment. So the aim is to correct the body chemistry. That means to make the body in alkaline nature or in a balanced state, and starving the cancer cells and making them unable to survive. And the selection of drug for site-specific action on Rogodborasthana. That means the selection of drug should be according to the primary site of the origin of the diseases. Whether it is prostate, whether it is from the stomach or liver, etc. The selection of drug should be according to the site specific, that is Roga Udbhavasthana. And come to the conclusion, the aim is to make the body acidic environment, to make the body to an alkaline nature by administering the Panyakshara and to reduce the risk of the transformation of the diseases to a deadly diseases. So further prospective multi-center trials in a bigger cross-section of patients would be held for dependable validation of these hypotheses. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arya Sugithan. Please unmute yourself and make the camera on. Now we would move on to the discussion part. I invite Dr. Asha ma'am to express her opinion.
Thank you. I want to ask you that why you used Artraga Panajala in along with the Panyakshara, and also the contents of Panyakshara, you are telling that according to the origin of the disease, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
That okay.
Okay, ma'am. My first question, that is Ardraga Panajanam. This study is based on the cancer study is going on our OP. This paper is also based on that. So when the patient comes with a cancer diagnosed, the main things we are facing is the comorbidity of cancer. So the first thing is anorexia or malaise, etc. So the first is we are aiming for the symptomatic management. So that's why we are giving Ardraga as Arujiknam or for increasing the Ruji. So and also we are giving Nimba and the Ardraga combination for that. Nimba and Ardraga. Both two drugs also have the anti-cancerous properties and also they are Arujiknam. And the first we are actually we are giving 6 grams each, but initially we are giving 2 grams of Ardraga only. When after became the acne and everything is getting normal, we are increasing the amount of Ardraga. So in these cases, when we are giving Ardraga, there is no complications occurring even in the case of cancer or even in the case of bleeding cancer also. So that's why we are giving Ardraga here, ma'am. And next question, Robert Stana. Here in our institution, we got so many GIT related cancer and also gynecological cancer like ovarian cancer, mastitis, breast cancer, etc. So we are choosing that particular single drug by based on the origin of the so primary site of the diseases. So we are in ovarian cancer, we used Ashoka Paniakshara, and in case of prostate, Rigadu, and one colloquial name that Peru, that is Sclerodendron infocinatum, that's we are giving for the breast cancer. So that single drug is giving is used for making Paniakshara. So it is more beneficial. We are in the case of cancer for making Paniakshara.
Very
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we would receive the thoughts of Dr. Giri sir.
Okay, good thought. And the thing is that you have half of the time has been given for the cancer rather than the Paniakshara. So that is the problem why all these questions came. So our real concept, all Ayurvedic persons are the presentations, most of them are like this. See, you have given importance to the Panyakshara because we are having yoga concept here. So that should reach the people rather than. So not only that, see, you have included so much of types of that CA, which can be used. So rather than this is, I am saying that this is better for betterment only. This is good, but this is difficult to explain actually because what you have learned for the past 10, 12 years within 5 minutes is impossible. So take one important meat of the presentation, then present it. So Panyakshara you have to tell very well rather than the cancer. That is what my opinion. So spending you have given a very valuable.
So let me.
That is the concept basically. Okay.
Okay. Sir, I choose this Panyakshara because in cancer, even the cancer cells will grow in an acidic environment. So that's why Panyakshara is a good alkaline nature drug that we say. That's why, sir, I choose Panyakshara for. And also, so many studies also we are working here, sir. And after administration of Panyakshara, the tumor marker, there is a huge difference in the tumor marker before and after the administration of Panyakshara. So, but it is not documented.
No, even though it is not documented, you would have selected any one or two. And assessment criteria. So assessment criteria also. So it will be more than this. So anyway, it's okay. Good start. Fine.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Then we will receive the perspective of Dr. Raghuram, sir. Please, sir.
Namaste. I agree with the opinion of Dr. Giri sir because when you present, you have to be particular to your topic of presentation, not going for disease review or such things which is not necessary. And particularly, you would have mentioned that for Panyakshara, which drug you are using and in which type of cancer you are using it. That is the most important point in your presentation, which would have been there, which you missed it.
Okay,
So
sir.
that is a very important point. You have to think, focus on the point, which is your
Okay, sir.
subject. You have to focus on that. Then your presentation will be more effective.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Next, I invite Dr. Gauri Shankar sir, HOD, Tajikistan Department, Vaidyaratnam Ayurveda College, to express his views. Sir, please.
Namaste. Arya Sugudin, you have done very well.
Sir,
No doubt about it.
thank you, sir.
But only one thing is that one question or you should have clarified earlier itself. The Panyachera which you are giving, is it Sodhana, Samana, or Roga Pradhirodhana?
Sir, in the Panya Shara, it's the property of Shodhana, Ropana, Lekana, etc. So that property also will included in this Panya Shara. If it is taken internally, it will debulking the tumor and also it will prevent the further growth of other tumor. So it has the property of both Shodhana, Ropana, and also in Lekana kind of property.
It is not Samana. You are telling it is not Samana.
Yes, of course, it is Shamana also because it is changing the environment.
Okay, Dr. Arya, you just go through the text. Okay, whether it is Sodhana, Samana, or preventive motion. That is the one thing. And one of my suggestions as a practitioner is instead of giving Ardraga, you should have given Sundhi.
Okay.
Dhanyena Dhanya Sundhipyam. One sloga is there in Arso Chikitsa. That will be better, it seems. Rather than Ardraga Jala,
okay,
you can give Sundhi Jala. That will be better.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Next, we will move on to the presentation of Dr. Swardha Opin. Dr. Swardha Opin, please stay online and after the completion of the telecasting of the presentation, please unmute yourself and answer to the questions from judges positively. Thank you, ma'am. Best wishes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Swardha Uppin, here to present the formulation Narikela Khanda, a rasayan in GI disorders. These are the contents. Acharyas highlight rasayana as Vyadhibala Virodhaka and Vyadhi Utpadaka Pratibandhaka. Amongst all the GI disorders, widely presenting symptom is Amla Pitta with a reported prevalence of 40% nationwide and around 15% globally. Amongst all the wide and various symptoms of Amla Pitta, one of the clinically presented symptoms is in the form of Shula as well. And thus, one such formulation is Narikel Khanda, which is known to cure Amla Pitta, Aruchi, Rakta Pitta, Shula conditions, and Chardi. It is also known to have rasayan effect in GI conditions. The objective of this presentation is to in detail discuss the formulation Narikel Khanda and to highlight the rasayan effect of Narikel Khanda in GI disorders. Hence, the reference was taken from Bhaishaj Ratnavali Shula Rog Adhikar, and Narikel Khanda contains Narikel, Gogrita, Sharkara, Narikel Jala, and Prakshapaka Dravyas like Dhanyak, Pippali, Musta, Vamshalochana, Shweta Krishna Jeraka, Trijataka, and Nagakeshara. The method of preparation of this formulation is quite easy and simple. Acharyas have mentioned the Falashruti and thus can be indicated in conditions of Agni-mandya, Aruchi, Shaya, Raktapitta, Shula, Chardi. It is known to have Paurushakari effect, Vrusha, and Rasayana effect. It can be administered with Jala in Naimatika conditions and along with Godugdha to obtain the Rasayana effect. The route of administration is oral. In Naimatika, that is Shamana Rupi Rasayana, the Aushadha Matra can be administered as 1 Shana, that is 3 grams, or 1 Karsha, that is 12 grams, that is divided doses, and can be administered in Madhya Bhakta Kala, wherein Samana Vayu and Pachaka Pitta both are situated in the Koshta. This Kal helps to control the Pittaja and Koshtagata Vyadhis, that is Samana Vayu Dushti. This can be indicated in Mandagni and Shula conditions. In Sabhakta Kala, it helps in potentiating the Agni Bala, thus can be indicated in Arochaka and Aruchi in weaker sections like women, old age, children, and debilitated conditions. To attain the Vyadhi Bala Virodhaka property, Aushadha Matra suggested is Ardha Pala or 1 Pala, that is 20 to 40 grams, and can be given in Abhakta Kala, that is during this Kala, Amasha and Srotasa are devoid of Kapha, and it is a highly potent time for administration of Rasayana to obtain the best results by proper absorption. These are the Rasapanchak of the ingredients along with Doshagnata. The formulation has the karmas like Dipan, Pachaniya, Ridya, Vrushya, Rechana, Grahi, Mutrala, Chakshusha, Varnya, Rasayana, as well as Vajikaran properties. It is well known to have anti-ulcerative activity, analgesic activity, carminative and anabolic activity, antioxidant activity, adaptogenic and nootropic activity, and immunomodulatory activity in various conditions. The mode of action of this formulation can be understood as Mandagni leads to Ama formation, and Pipali and Musta are the best medicines for Ama Pachan. It helps in elevating the Strotarodha by Ushna and Tikshna Guna. The Deepan Pachan property helps in improving the status of Agni. There is an increase in Drava Guna in Amla Pitta. Kledaka Kapha and Pachaka Pitta are Drava and dominancy. Thus, Lagu Ruksha Guna may help in producing the function of Dravansha Shoshana and also in obtaining the Lekhana Stambhana and Ropana effect. The Madhura Vipaka and Shita Virya drugs may counteract the Tikshna Guna of vitiated Pitta, thus by helping the Vatanulomana effect of Mutra and Puresha, thereby obtaining expulsion of Vidagdha Pitta. The Madhura Rasa and Shita Virya, Mrudusnigdha Guna, along with Dahahara and Ridya property, refers to the soothing action of Narikela on Annavas Srotas and thus helps in reducing the GI irritation. Narikela, along with Dhanya, Pipali, Ela, and Patra, have the Ridya property and thus help in controlling the Chardi. The Tridoshahara, Deepan, Pachana, Rucha, along with Anulomana action, helps the drugs help to tackle the pathogenesis of the condition. Due to the socioeconomic condition, mental stress and strain plays an important role in aggravating this condition. Thus, Gogrita, Godugdha, Pipali are known to have Rasayana effect and help in increasing the Dhatu Poshana and also Ojo Vardhana, thereby producing Rasayana and Vajikaran effect. Few research updates help in supporting and understanding the action on Amla Pitta and ulcerative conditions in the form of Avleha as well as in the form of granules. Not a lot of pharmacies produce this medications, but VHCA manufacture this, and this brings a opportunity to manufacture this product into the market. I would like to conclude by saying that the goal of treatment is not only to cure the disease but also to prevent its recurrence. Narikel Khanda protects and corrects the Agni, thereby correcting the GI disorders. It is safer in all individuals of all Prakriti and during all Kala. It is effective in Avleha as well as granule forms. Along with the Shamana effect, it is also having Rasayana and Vajikaran effects. These are the cross references. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sweta, ma'am. Now, let's move on to the discussion part. I invite Dr. P.V. Giri sir to express his thoughts. Sir, please.
Okay, so let me ask you, for discussion purpose only, what is the superiority of Naligari Lavana over other? Because you have selected it on the basis that this is superior, which is, you have already said it is availability is less in the market. Still, you have selected for presentation. And another question comes, of course. And what is the superiority you think that, for example, than Ashtajurna? This is for discussion only.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone, and respected judges. So, like you asked, sir, that why have I chosen this and what is the superiority since the market product is like not easily available. Even if the market availability is not there, like I had not explained, but I have still mentioned in my presentation that the method of preparation is quite easy. And during the initial stages of my practice, I have, when like people known to me have been suffering from these, initially I have myself prepared it and then given to, like my neighbors or the patients whom I know personally. And like recently, even in like patients of the same family who are suffering from like GI conditions or especially Amla Pitta conditions.
Don't have much time. Okay. That's right. That's national.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And which are the clinical conditions you give? You prescribe this. Which are the clinical? Whatever said in the test, that is okay. In clinical setting.
So clinically, like yes, sir. As per my experience, I have given in conditions of Amla Pitta and Agni, and that's all, sir. Apart from that, in patients, like I am a Rasayan Vajikaran specialist, so in most of the Vajikaran patients, I have given this. And apart from the Vajikaran effects, I have also seen good effects with the acidity conditions also.
Okay, and
so I thought this should be a market available.
And in the conclusion, you said it is Rasayana, Vajikarana. That is, so in the conclusion means you should have discussed it earlier, then only you can conclude. That is one thing. Then you have said the granule form is also effective. Whether we didn't mention granule form at any of the slides, but at the end you said so. Conclusion means you got a chance to say whatever important you have said earlier. So that's that people will remember. Okay, this is only my suggestion. So whatever you say in conclusion, you should have discussed or mentioned, or that has an important with that. So granules, I don't think, because we didn't go for any preparatory methodological part which has got superiority trials or like that. The other part you have said the trials I was about to ask, but you have shown the trials which has been done. Anyway, good going. Thank you.
Just one thing, sir. Yeah, I would just like to mention that while explaining the mode of action, I did mention about the Rasayan and Vargikaran effect also. And in the research updates, I have mentioned granules, but since the time frame was 5 minutes, I thought of just not going in much detail about that.
Time will be there.
Yes,
Whatever
sir.
you said, then that only you have. That is the procedure usually.
Right, sir. Yes.
Otherwise, it's good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now let's listen the viewpoint of Dr. Raghuram, sir. Sir, please.
Yeah, you explained the mode of action in Ayurvedic terminology, and it was well presented. But will you be able to explain the mode of action in modern terminology, like whether it is acting locally by neutralizing the acid, or whether it acts on the organs which secrete the acid, or it controls the secretion with the brain control, the central nervous system control? So what may be its action?
Yes, sir. So, like, especially the Pratipaka Dravyas and also the Narikela along with Go, Dugda and Gogrita. So they have well known to have the carminative and anabolic activity. So I would say that they have an effect even on the like brain to reduce the secretions, and also on the target organs to maintain the secretions, and thereby it can have a action of reducing the amla pitta, or like the hyperacidic conditions, by reducing that because of the madhura like rasa activities. And my aim was more towards like the Rasayana effect. So since all these drugs are very well known to have antioxidant and adaptogenic and also immunomodulatory and anabolic activity, so I would like to say that for to attaining the apunarbhava effect of any kind of any GI disorders, these could be like more beneficial. So this could be the way it is acting.
Still, your answer is not to the point, particular. It is vague. You are telling it may act like this, it may act. All the three have been told. Okay, think about that further. How particularly what it does.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Asha ma'am to express her ideas.
Please unmute yourself.
Hello. Hello, Swardha, doctor.
Yes, ma'am.
In which stage you are giving this medicine? In the ama stage or nirama stage, you are telling that in the that as shamana and as well as rasayana. In which stage you are planning to be given this drug?
So, ma'am, this could be given in both the stages depending upon the dose. So, when I say that it could be given as a Shamana Rupi also, so in Ama stage also it can be given, because the drugs, most of the drugs have Ushna Tikshna property also, and like they are Laghu Ruksha, so they might also help in the Ama Pachan. So, this could be given in the Shamana dosage, that is like 1 Shana or 1 Karsha in divided doses. And in individuals who are prone to have the GI conditions, so once after treating them with any other medications, in those conditions, to avoid the recurrence or to prevent the recurrence, this could then be given in a Rasayana dose, like in 20 or 40 grams, so that all the GI, like the recurrence won't be there. And the best part about this formulation is, since it is like palatable and even tastier, so it could be given even like as a like food supplementary also. So patients will not be in a like pressure of the like unpalatable conditions. So it could be given in both the forms, ma'am, like in active, like Ama stage also, and as a Rasayan also.
Okay, okay, very good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, judges. Now let's move on to the next presentation. Presentation by Dr. Geeta ji. Dr. Geeta ji, please be online. and unmute yourself after completing the presentation for the discussion. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. Myself, Dr. Geeta Gadar, Assistant Professor, Department of Rashastra and Vaishajya Kalpana from Kahir Shri Belagavi. So I am very glad to be the part of National Seminar on Gastrointestinal Disorders. And these GI disorders are the most prevalent and commonly encountered diseases in the clinical practice. There are a wide range of presentation of these diseases, and there are plenty of formulations which are explained in Ayurveda to tackle these diseases. Among that, there is a most commonly used and a most versatile combination, that is Avipathikara Churna. So today I am here to present a paper entitled with Critical Analysis of Formulation and Probable Mode of Action of Avipathikara Churna, a comprehensive review. Coming to the introduction, the physiology of digestion is mainly dependent on the 4 factors, that is secretion, digestion, absorption, and gut motility. And in all these stages or in all these factors, this Avipathikara Churna is going to work. And we all know that Mandagni or the Agni Mande is the main cause for all these diseases. And any disturbance in this digestive capacity will lead to the stasis and inadequate assimilation, leading to fermentation, that is the Vidagdata, which leads to the Amla Rasa Pradhana Pitta, that is the Vidagda Pitta, leading to the Amla Pitta. So in this Amla Pitta Adhikara, this Avipathikara Churna is being explained with the 14 ingredients. So the objective of this paper is to emphasize Avipathikara Churna with special reference to its rationality of the formulation and its mode of action. This is the source, classical source, that is Vaishajya Ratnavali Amla Pitta Chikitsa, where this formulation has been explained. And this formulation, Avipathikara Churna, is entirely different from Avipatti Churna, which is explained in Sahasra Yoga and by Vagbhata in the context of Virechana Kalpa. So these are the ingredients: Haritaki, Vibhitaki, Amalaki, Pippali, Maricha, Shunti, Mustha, Vidalavana, Vidanga, Ela, Tamalapatra. These 7 ingredients are in 1 part each, Lavanga 11 parts, Trivrit 44 parts, and the Sharkara equal to all other ingredients, that is 66 parts. And these are the Samana Yoga, which are found in Rasendra Chintamani, Rasendra Sara Sangraha, where there is a slight difference with respect to Anupana, that is Shita Toya and the Narikelodaka, and the Patyahara, that is the Kshira and the Mamsarasa. And there are special indications like Pudragata and the Mutrashmari. There is another Samana Yoga which is explained by the Vangasena Samhita, where the ingredients are same, but the Patyahara he has included as Kshirodana. So classical Falashruti of this Avipathikara Churna is Amla Pitta, Vibandha of Mala and Mutra, Agni Mandya, all diseases, Prameha, Arsha, and the Mutragata and the Ashmari. Coming to the Matra, it is 8 Masha, that is 6 to 8 grams in divided doses it can be given. Anupana, they have given as Madhu. In Kapha Pradurbhava, we can select Madhu. And Grita, Shita Toya, Narikelodaka in Pittaja presentation. And Aushadha Sevana Kala, they have specifically mentioned as Bhojanado in case of Apanavata Vikriti, where there is Kapha and Pitta involvement in the presentation. And Madhya, that is in between the food, it can be selected when the person is having the Vidagda Pitta or Samapitta presentation. And Patte is Eteshta Ahara, that is Kshira and the Mamsarasa or the Kshirodana. And Rasapanchaka, by summarizing the Rasapanchaka of all the ingredients, the formulation is having mainly Kattu, Tikta and Madhur Rasa Pradhana, Virya, Shita because of the major ingredients like Khanda Sharkara, Lavanga, Ela, Amalaki, etc. And Guna, it is having the Lagu, Ruksha and Snigdha property. Vipaka is Madhura, and Doshagnata is Tridoshamaka, and Karma, it is bearing the Deepana, Pachana, Vatanulomana and the Vibandhara. These are the much needed actions in the all GI disorders. And coming to the mode of action, Khanda Sharkara, which contributes 50%, is having the Pitta Shamaka property by virtue of its Shitavirya and the Madhuru Vipaka, which contributes Vidakta Pitta Janya Daha Shamana and the Praseka Tikta Amlodgara Chardi Nivarana in case of the Amla Pitta. And in second major ingredient is the Trivrit, which helps to expel the excess of the Pitta by its Sukhavirechana property. Thus, it will be helpful in the Samprapti Vigatana of the Amla Pitta and the Arsha. Next major ingredient is the Lavanga, which has Deepana Pachana, Ama Pachana and Vatanulomana property along with Shulakrishamana activity. And there are other 11 ingredients which are having minimal proportion, but they are also having the Deepana Pachana Vatanulomana property, which are needed in the condition. So this mode of action or the karma can be substantiated with the recent research works on the individual works, like Haritaki is having anti-ulcer, Cricket is having the cytoprotective activity and stimulative activity in the gastric secretions, and Ela, Lavanga, Tamalapatra, these are having carminative and antispasmodic effect. Lavanga has mucus secretion property. Trivrit, it reduces the hyperacidity and gastric ulcer by laxative action. Trivrit Trifla by having the gastric motility function and also hypoglycemic effect, they can be used in the Prameha and the Amlapitta. And coming to the research works, these are some of the research works which are carried out, which substantiate the anti-secretory, anti-ulcerogenic activity of Eupathikara Churna and gastroprotective action of the Eupathikara Churna. These are the references. Thank you, organizers, for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, Geeta ji ma'am. Now let's move on to the discussion part. I invite Dr. Raghuram sir to share his thoughts.
Yes, it was a nice presentation with almost all the points covered. And only the point we have not covered is a modern explanation of its mode of action. That also would have been explained so that you will get more insight towards that. Because Ayurvedic explanation is there, which will give an idea which can be inferred. But when you give modern explanation also, it will be more precise and you can understand the effect of the drug very much. And Avipattikara Churna, especially the Lavanga. Can you tell why the Lavanga is important there? Why Lavanga is added here in a higher quantity?
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, Lavanga is in 11 parts. It is not there in Avipatti Churna, where it is being indicated only for Pittaja Vikara. Here in the Avipatti Churna in a Falashruti, they tell that it is for the Pitta Rogina. But this Avipattikara Churna is being indicated in a multiple areas, means the indications are wide. So in case of Kafanubandhi also, where there is Shoshana is required, like Tikshna Dravya is required. And it is also having, though the Lavanga is Tikshna, it is having the Madhura Vipaka. So it is also having a rich volatile content, which will be having Shula Prashamana activity also.
It's a Shitavirya Dravya, Shula Prashamana activity is there, but
yes,
actually it's having a particular property which it will correct the putrefaction. It digests the putrefaction. Only two drugs, Hingu and Lavanga, are the two drugs which are having this correcting the putrefaction action. It is a major thing which corrects ama. Ama is dissolved by the intake of Hingu and Lavanga. That's why these two formulations, Hingoshtaka and Avipattikara Churna, become very much effective in case of indigestion and Amlapitta.
Yes, sir. It helps in Amapachana. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Asha ma'am to express her thoughts. Ma'am, please.
Hello, Dr. Geeta.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to ask you one question, that is in Bhaishya Raktavali, it is Bhojanadva Madhyam Khade Danda Shakrayanyuddha. It is along with the Shakara. It is used.
Yes.
Then in Dasendra Chintamani, it is Snigdha Mande Pradabhed.
Snigdha Bhand, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then in Mangasena Samhita, it is Snigdhe Chaiva Nidabhed. Why it is? Can you explain the...
Ma'am, the storage they have told, ma'am, Snigdha Bhande Nidapayet. That is, it has to be like Avaleha, it can be even, because the quantity of Sharkara is 66 parts, that is equal to all other ingredients. So it can be made into like in the preparation, that is in Asavarishta preparation also, the Madhu and Grita Lepana is being told for the Patra. Like that, to preserve this and to have a better action, that is to keep in this, will add the qualities, like it will have a, by the ingredients combination, there will be again, there is some physicochemical changes which will be occurring, which will be forming a compound which will be helpful in the treatment. It is not only that single drug mixture, as in the powder, there may not be drug-drug interaction may be so suitable, but if we keep in this Snigdha Bhanda, then there will be some chemical reaction among the ingredients can be paved.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Now let us hear the outlook of Dr. P.V. Giri, sir. Sir, please.
And I would like to know,
Yes.
this drug will produce a laxation or purgation, am I right?
Sir, it is laxative, sir.
Okay. Then whether you use this, you have mentioned you are running with all these things. That was good actually. And whether you use it for Shamana or Shodhana.
It is more towards the Shamana, sir.
Okay.
The Shodhana effect is by laxative. Sukha virechana property, it is mild, but it is more of Shamana in nature.
And unmute,
Yes, sir.
all unmute. Okay. So one more cue. This is for discussion only. Don't take it otherwise. What is the use of Shida and Mamsrasa as Anubana? Actually, what is the real concept in the modern? Can you tell? Hello? Hello? Hello, Gita ji. Hello, Gita? Hello? Hello?
Hello, Geeta ma'am.
Gita? Gita, unmute yourself. Gita? Dr. Gita?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. It was muted actually. Yes, sir. Sir, this Grahani condition I can tell, sir, for Mamsarasa and Kshira, like in a long-standing Grahani.
That's okay. That is because we don't have, I am entering into your thought because we don't have much time. That's right.
Yes,
because,
sir.
I will tell the answer because as Raghuram Bhatt sir was always telling the concept of modern is not there. So which type of laxation is produces? So the whether it is a secretory diarrhea or is the motility increasing or like that, bulk increasing, maybe all these things.
Okay.
So the Mamsarasa, I think there has been the Saumya Rasa, Mamsa, Siddha is mentioned on the basis that for Vata Shamana, because it increases the motility and abdominal pain will occur, especially just like that in Trivit Kashaya, that is Trayindhyadi Kashaya. Like
yes, sir.
I have said. So that is the concept actually. So
okay,
because there will be a severe motility because Trivit is like that.
Yes, sir.
Maybe do for that because I'm entering where we don't have much time. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Gauri Shankar sir is here. Sir, please share your thoughts.
Dr. Geeta.
Yes, sir.
You have done very well, no doubt
Yes.
about it. And we had enough discussion also. Only
Yes,
one
sir.
thing I want to point out is, while describing the Samana Yogas,
yes, sir.
You should have told Avipatti Churna also.
Yes, sir. I thought to include, sir, but the ingredients difference was there. I thought it is in a different context because there are Vidalavana is missing, Vidanga is Haritaki,
right.
Vititaki is missing.
You are right, but
Yes,
by name it is also Avipatti Churna.
Yes,
but
sir.
in Jarachigalsa, it has been mentioned as Yoshadhyamba Virajanam. Of course, that is there, but in some places of India, especially in Kerala and Karnataka and in Maharashtra,
yes,
it is
sir.
named as Avipatti Girichu. Avipatti Churna. Okay.
Yes,
You
yes, sir.
add it, that's all. No other comment.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, organizers. Thank you.
Thank you, judges, and thank you, Dr. Geeta ji.
Yes, thank you.
Now, we will move on to the next presentation by Dr. Nanma. Dr. Nanma, please stay online and unmute yourself after completing the presentation and be positive to the discussion. Thank you.
Judges, myself Dr. Nanma is here. I'm going to present the topic, a comparative clinical study to evaluate the two diverse actions of Vaishwanva Churna administered as Pragbhakta and Madhyabhakta Kala in functional dyspepsia. As we all know, Samanavada, Pachaka, Pitta and Kledaka Kabha were the three pillars which regulate the Agni. Any derangement at any level will lead to Agni Dushti. Here I am dealing with the Samanavada Dushti, which is having the close resemblance with the pathophysiology of functional dyspepsia. Normal functions of Samanavada is Annam Grahanadi, Pachadi, Vivechedi, Munjadi. So defective in Grahanam is related to impaired gastric accommodation to a meal, and defective in Pajanam is related to hypersensitive to gastric distension, and defective in Vivechanam is related to altered androduodenal motility, and defective in Munjanam is related to delayed gastric emptying. So focusing on Amapajana, Agnidipana and Vadanulomana, Vaishwana Churna, which is mentioned in Ashtanga Hridaya Gulma Chikitsa, is selected in the study. Aim of the study is to evaluate the effect of Vaishwana Churna administered as Pragbhakta and Madhyabhakta Kala in functional dyspepsia. And the hypothesis that there is null hypothesis, there is no difference between effective use of Vaishwana Churna administered as Pragbhakta and Madhyabhakta Kala for reducing the symptoms of functional dyspepsia. And alternate hypothesis, there is difference between effective use of Vaishwana Churna administered as Pragbhakta and Madhyabhakta Kala for reducing the symptoms of functional dyspepsia. And the materials and methods, 30 patients were recruited based on the inclusion-exclusion criteria from the OP and IP of Kaya Chikitsa department and consecutively grouped into A and B. And inclusion criteria, age 30 to 50 years of both gender, participants fulfilling ROM4 criteria, and participants from the written consent is obtained. And exclusion criteria, those with endoscopic findings of peptic ulcer or any organic lesions, those on non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs and long-term medication, and pregnant women and lactating mothers, and psychological factors. And the treatment protocol, screening of the patient as per ROM4 criteria and inclusion criteria, and the patient was assessed based on the parameters on the 0th day. And in group A, Vaishwana Churna 6 grams twice a day was given before the food from 0 to 28th day. And in group B, Vaishwana Churna 6 grams twice a day was given in the mixed of ml from 0 to 28th day. And again, patient was assessed based on the parameters on the 29th day. And these are the results. First is dyspepsia questionnaire. Next one is severity of dyspepsia assessment scale and short form Nepean dyspepsia index. All shows much improvement in group B over group A. And moving to the discussion, in normal individuals, when food enters into the stomach, stretches the muscle wall of the stomach and activate the mechanostress receptors, which stimulate the vagovagal reflex and causes antral motility and fundus relaxation. And there will be proper chyme formation. And functional dyspepsia, which is a gastrointestinal disorder, here food enters into the stomach, stretches the muscle wall of the stomach and could not activate the mechanostress receptors and hamper the stimulation of the vagovagal reflex and causes antral hypermotility and impaired fundus relaxation. There will be improper chyme formation and delayed gastric emptying. And Vaishwana Churna in Madhyabhakta Kala, that is, patient has to take the medicine in the midst of a meal. Here, half of the food enters in the stomach, stretches the muscle wall of the stomach and could not activate the mechanostress receptors and hamper the stimulation of the vagovagal reflex. And Vaishwana Churna at this point stimulate the vagovagal reflex and antral motility and fundus relaxation and causes proper chyme formation. And in Ayurveda point of view, half of the food ended in the Amashaya due to Samanavata and Anubandha Dosha Dosha. There will be impairment in Anna Grahana, Pachana, Vivechana, and Munjana. And there will be formation of Ama. And the Vaishwana Churna at this point and Leguruksha Ushna Guna of the individual drugs of Vaishwana Churna causes clay the Shoshana and enhances the Tektadrava Bhava of Pajaka Pitta and causes Agni Dipana. And Vaishwana Churna in Pragbhakta Kala, here patient has to take the medicine just before the food. Here in Vaishwana Churna is given in the interdigestive period. It will enhances the migrating motor complex and sweeps out the intestinal contents, and patient feels a symptomatic relief from gastric stasis and raised intragastric pressure at this point. And food is given at this point will ceases the migrating motor complex and correction of the vagovagal reflex is not attained properly. Again causes gastric stasis and delayed gastric emptying. And Samanavada starts to perform its function as soon as the food enters into the koshta. So Pragbhakta mode of medicine administration has no influence in correcting the Samanavada. So Vada Kabahara and Leguruksha Tikshna nature of the yoga here helps in Namapasana rather than Agnidipana. So moving to the conclusion, the present clinical study has been undertaken to focus on the two diverse actions of Vaishwana Churna. And all the parameters showed significant difference between two groups with a p-value of less than 0.05, wherein group B showed more improvement over group A. And the Vaishwana Churna administered in Madhyabhakta Kala was found to be effective in Agni Dipana with correction of all major pathophysiology associated with the functional dyspepsia. Thus, alternate hypothesis was accepted and null hypothesis was rejected. These are the references. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nanma. Let's move on to the discussion part. I invite Dr. Asha ma'am to express her thoughts. Ma'am, please.
Hello, Nanma.
Hello, ma'am.
Well presented. One thing I want to say is explain the rationality of choosing Vaishwana Churna in Madhyabhakta Kala. Then you have used this Churna up to 28 days.
Yes.
And then specify the two Annakalas for Madhyabhakta. You have morning and evening you have saved. Set in the, I think in the slides, exact time of reduction of administration of this Vaishwana Churna.
Ma'am, actually, I conducted a survey study among the 50 Ayurveda teaching faculties across the Kerala. And the aim of the study was to analyze which Aushadha Sevanakala is being used and how it is being practiced in the cases of Samana Vadadushti Vikaras. And the results shows that most of the practitioners were practicing in Churna in Pragbhakta Kala in Samana Vadadushti Vikara. So that point to take this clinical study.
Is it produce any ama along with the ahara and aushadha? This is my
Sorry,
own
ma'am.
doubt.
Sorry, ma'am. Once more question.
The ahara with the Madhya Bhakta, is it produce any ama?
No.
Increase ama or
Ahara in Madhya Bhakta Kala, which actually regulates the Samanavada, and it regulates the Agni Dipana. Samanavada starts to perform its function as soon as the food enter into the koshta. So after that, half of the food enters into the koshta, then we take the medicine. So it actually improves the Agni. But in Pragbhakta Kala, it is administered in the interdigestive period. That is, in the interdigestive period, it enhances the migrating motor complex. So it regulates the ama pajana rather than Agni Dipana.
Maybe by stretching the muscle receptors, I think, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Asha ma'am. Now I invite Dr. P.V. Giri sir to share his thoughts. Sir, please.
There's a good scientific presentation because of the fact that it is taken from the research paper. So all things in order. And the Pasana and Dipana is having the Vata and Agni predominant Aushadhas actually. And one is having Vata predominant, the other one is having Agni predominant. That is, so you could have added the terminologies like collector goods, digestives, so that we can compare in this presentation, so that the modern portion also can come, and so that the scientific community can understand the real. Otherwise also we can understand, but there's a way that we are doing it for more understanding. And Vada and Agni means we know that the probable mode of action in terms of neuroendocrinological functions and simply in the digestive juices function, that also can be, because you don't have much time in that, but that can be also thought of anyway. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Raghuram sir to share his thoughts. Sir, please.
Namaste. It was a very good scientific presentation. As Giri sir said, you have touched both modern and Ayurvedic aspect. And one thing I would like to know from you, you have already touched that while explaining the mode of action. You told because of the Tyakta Dravatvam, it is acting upon. So can you explain the importance of Dravatva of Pitta in the pathology as well as the correcting the pathology? That is Samprapti and Samprapti Vighatana. What is the importance of Dravatva of Pitta?
Sir, actually Samanavada, Pajaka Pitta and Kledaka Kaba, which regulates the Agni. So Pajaka Pitta, that is Tekta Dravatum Pagadi Karmana Anala Shabdidam. So here after removing that Dravatva Bhava, it is causes Agni Dipana. So here in Samanavada Dushti, that is Samanavada, one of the function is Annam Grahanadi Pajadi. Pajadi means Agni Sandukshanat Bhakta Kharaiva. That is like that cook which blows the fire. So Samanavada, which just supporting this Pajaka Pitta and Kledaka Kaba, like the cook blows the fire. So here the Pajaka Pitta is the main component which causes the dushti. So here the in functional dyspepsia persons, that is most of the symptoms, that is early satiety, postprandial fullness, nausea, vomiting, all are kapha dominant. That is increase in Dravatva bhava. So
No,
here
okay, that's not the point. Dravatva, okay, kapha you are taking, whether in kapha dravatva.
That is Agni in Mandhavastha.
Hmm.
So we are administering medicine. It enhances the Tektadrava bhava of Pajakapita. In when administering medicine in
Interruption in between. The kapha is not told to be drava. In Atmagunas, pitta is told to be drava, isn't it? Pittam sasneha tekshnoshnam laghuvishram saram dravam. So their dravatva of pitta increases, isn't it? When Agnimandya is there. So Tekta dravatva is also of pitta only, you are telling. Tekta dravatvam pakade karmananla subjitam. You cannot compare that to the kapha dravatva.
Sir. Yes, sir. So here the Agni is not working properly. That is, it is more having Drava bhava. So here when we administer Vaishwana Churna in Madhya Bhakta Kala, here enhances the Tektadrava bhava of Pachakapitta.
So which guna acts there?
Tikshna guna, like Ushna Tikshna guna, sir.
Okay, has to be Ruksha there. Ushna means again pitta will increase, no? Ushna Tikshna. Ruksha guna should act there.
Oh.
Thank you, sir. Now let's move on to the opinion of Dr. Gauri Shankar sir about this topic. Sir, please.
Dr. Nanma, you have done very well. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Your answering was not so much appropriate, it seems. Anyway, it is good, well and good. Only one thing I want to share is, you see the order of medicines advised in Ashtamarya. First, Hinduvajadi, then this Vaishwanaram, then Hindutruguna. That is for first one for Vadiga type of Vadiga predominant, and second one Kaphaja predominant, and third one the Hindutruguna as for Vadiga predominant. This is one thing we can predict something, because only Vaishwanara Saksha, only that word is given there. And moreover, if you see the there are 8 parts of Haridaki is there in that Vaishwanara Sutra. If you see the reference, Haridaki Deepana Pajana Anulominiyana Shrestha. One reference is there. Deepana Pajana Anulominiyana Shrestha. So go through all these references for your future studies. Anyway, all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gauri Shankar sir. Thank you, judges. Now let's move on to the next presentation. Dr. Ashwadi, presentation by Dr. Ashwadi. Dr. Ashwadi, please be online and unmute yourself after completing the video.
A very good morning to one and all. Myself Ashwadi M, PhD scholar, Department of Kaya Chikitsa, Vaidyaratnam PS Warrior Ayurveda College, Kottakkal. Title of my presentation is Kaidariyadi Kashayam in Irritable Bowel Syndrome with special reference to Grahini. Moving on to the presentation, IBS is a functional disorder characterized by altered bowel habits and abdominal pain in the absence of any detectable structural abnormality. An observational study was conducted on 25 IBS patients at Kaya Chikitsa OPD with PSP Ayurveda College, and based on the common presentations of Nidana, Purvarupa and Lakshana, the condition can be mostly fairly correlated to Grahini in Ayurveda, and more than 50% of the patients are having the features of Agni Madhya and Arshas also. Let us see the Samprapti Kadagas of Grahani. That is, dosha is Vada Pradhana dosha, Dushyam, Rasam, Malam, Purisha. Shrodas affected are Purishavaha, Rasavaha, and Annavaha Shrodas. The Shroda Dushti type is Anga and Adipravarti, and Agni is Mandakni or Vishamakni, and Rogamarga is Abhyantara Rogamarga or Mahashrodas itself. In the type of Grahani involving mainly the lower GAT, that is, the patient is presenting with Abhana Vaigunya, that is features of Arshas and Udavarta, leading to Samana Vaigugoba, and Grahani-like features, that is Krudapyakrida Sapnadan, Tandumat Malapravarti, Muhurbada Muhurdrava Vartas, etc. In that condition, Kledo Shoshana, Vadanulomana, Malanulomana, Trudoshahara, Grahani Balya, and Deepana Pachana is needed. And there comes the relevance of the Yogam, Kaidaryadi Kashayam. It is mentioned in Chikitsa Manjari, Mahodara Chikitsa. ചുക്കൊന്ന് കറിവേപ്പില 3 പടോല പത്യ നന്നാല് കൊൾക പുലരെ ജഡരേഷു കഷായോഗെ ഇന്ദുപ്പു തിപ്പലികൾ മേമ്പൊടി കൊൾക പക്ഷേ രാവെങ്കിൽ ഉണ്ണുവതി നൻപൊടി മുമ്പിൽ വേണ്ടു. This is the reference mentioned. These are the ingredients, 4 ingredients, and the ratio 1:3:4:4. Coming to mode of action in Ayurveda, coming to Rasa Panchaka, most of the drugs, 4 drugs are having Kadudikta Kashaya Rasa. Guna, Shundi is having Ruksha Tikshna Guna, and Rasa are having Lagu Ruksha Guna. And Virya, Shundi, Padola and Haridagi is having Ushna Virya, and Kaidariya is only having Sida Virya. And Vibhaga, Kadu Vibhaga, Karma, Shundi, Vada Kabahara, Kaidariya and Padola is having Kabapittahara property, and Haridagi is having Tridoshahara property. The other action on the Agni and Srodhas are Dibana Pachana, Pledo Shoshna, Bedana, Vadanilomana, Kabanilomana, then Srodha, Shofahara, Krimigna, etc. This is the combined action of the yoga, and we have already discussed that. Then these are the modern mode of action that is based on the chemical constituents. They are having the proton pump inhibiting action, antioxidant action, and prevent the stress-induced gastric mucosal damage, cytoprotective activity, antimicrobial activity, etc. Then coming to Matra, in classic, Dvipala is the mentioned dose, and in gastrointestinal diseases, better to avoid the preservatives, and so we can advise the patient to take Kashaya by preparing themselves. Kashaya is having only 4 ingredients, and that is easily available also. Coming to time of administration, that is Aushadha Kala, Annado Vigune Abane is taken here. Then coming to Prakshepa, Saindava and Pipali are having Kledo Shoshna Vadakabahara property, and that add on to the effect of the yoga. Then Falashruti, more than reading hundreds of books, the experience from a practitioner is very much informative, and such informations are mentioned here. That is in Arshas and Udavarta Samprapti, the drug is found much effective, and Kleda Shoshna property is found effective in Kabacha Grahani also. Then Ekrit Prasadana property is found to be effective in amoebic liver abscess, fatty liver abscess, etc. Then in cholelithiasis, appendicitis, and infections, it is found to be very much effective when given along with Ingwajadi Churna and Chavigasava. And in PPBS raised conditions, it is found to be very effective when given along with Arogyavardhini Vadi. These are some of the Sahapanas, that is Vada predominant conditions, Dhanandarangolika, Paithya conditions, Sudarshana Churna, and infections, Septilin tab can be given along with that. And Shura predominant conditions, Parushagadi Lehya, we can administer. And 88% of the patients are having stress-related problems in IBS. So Mansamitra Vadaga and Shankapushpi Churna will be effective. In Samana Yoga, that is Kaidarya Patradi Kashaya mentioned in Arogya Kalpadruma Adhisara, the drugs are different and having more Dibana property than Kaidaryadi Kashaya. Kalashagadi Kashaya mentioned in Chikitsa Manjari Vishujiga is having Shulahara property, and only Padola is missing from the Kaidaryadi Kashaya, and so Pitta Shamanata will be reduced. Then Kaidaryadi Gulika is also mentioned in Arogya Kalpadruma, Grahani Chikitsa, and that is Grahani Dosha Nashana also. Then coming to the conclusion, the Kleda Shoshana, Madan Lomana, Malan Lomana, and Tridoshahara property will be very much effective in the lower GIT pathology of the Grahani presentation. And researches are to be done in this yoga to explore the wide range of action in other conditions and other systems, as the Falasruti as such is not mentioned in the Kashaya Yoga. These are the references. Let me conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ashwati. Now let us hear the viewpoints of the judges about this topic. Dr. P.V. Giri, sir, please.
Presentation is good, and probable mode of action little bit has to be explained in modern times also. That is one thing. And see, in IBS, while treating IBS, only this medicine is used. Is it enough?
No, sir. Actually, while completing my BMS itself, I got the idea from Kottakkal Ayurveda College that whenever IBS came, the first drug of choice is Kaidaryadi Kashayam. But at that time, I was not able to find out why it is used. So actually, when I get an opportunity to tell this topic, I went to my teachers and collected their experiences. And in cholelithiasis, appendicitis like conditions, they were using
only
it
this
effectively.
drug, see, come to that point directly. You have to think of his mental faculty, dietary, because yesterday we were discussing a lot of things about the microbiota. So that has an important role to play. So definitely Pathya has an important, very important role, just like the medicine. This is medicine actually. So any dysbiosis can cause all these things, especially GI tract, and even mental mood also. That's not proven, but there are relation between that. That's almost there. In the British Medical Journal, it is published. So we have to, you can add, while presenting, it should be complete. So with patyas. So whatever patyas, you no need to mention, but you should follow and you should know what are the patyas according to. But the thing is that person to person, the patya may change in IBS. Some persons are, so in celiac disease and Crohn's disease also. So in the research paper, it is said that most of the protein allergy like that, it is not correct. Actually, 70% are due to hyperproteinemia people are getting because of the fact that they are thinking that they are having allergic to protein. That is truly not correct. That's what research says. Just like that, we have to go into Bhatya. That is why our Ayurvedic classic has given dietary modifications for every disease, each and every disease, even Shwasam Avashya Samudbhavam, it is said. So that is an important factor. So diet has to be considered. That's an important factor. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Raghuram, sir, please.
Yeah, whatever I wanted to tell was already mentioned by Dr. Giri sir. And the most important thing, the mental aspect also is to be considered there. And physically also the ulceration and erosion of the mucous membrane, which is very much important to be considered. So any Tikshna Dravya or Tikshna Ahara you take, it will be detrimental for that. It will aggravate the condition. That's why Pathya becomes very important. You cannot take any spicy things there. So in order to kindle the Agni, you have to give spicy. So it's contradictory treatment also. So without spice, you have to correct the Agni there. So first you have to correct that ulceration and then give slightly mild Deepana. That's why Takra is told to be best for that, because Takra is cooling. It won't irritate, but it will produce the Agni. Agni Deepana will be done by Takra. So that is the point. Maybe Kaidaryadi Kashaya, if you are giving with Takra, it may be still more better.
Effective. Okay,
Okay,
sir.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Asha, ma'am, please.
Hello, Ashwati, doctor.
Good morning.
In which stage you will be giving this medicine? I mean, Ama or Nirama stage, can you? All the other
Actually,
things are
the drug is having very much.
judges are given. Okay.
Yes, sir. The drug is having actually Tridoshahara property. It works in balancing the three doshas. That is Kledoshosana property is there, Pitta Shamana property is there, and Vadanlomana property is also there. So when the patient is presenting with the features of Binna, Ama, Sleshma, Samsrishta, Guruvarcha Pravartanam, that is Kaba, Grahani Lakshanas, the drug will be the best choice. That when the patient is having paste-like stools, the diameter will be less, the loose consistency, but it is not watery, like that presentations, we can administer this drug as it is Kledoshosana, mainly Kledoshosana. The Anubana itself is also adding the Kledoshosana property. So we can take that drug.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
Invite Dr. Gauri Shankar, sir, to have some thoughts.
Dr. Ashwati, only
Yes,
one
sir.
point. Just in Ashtanga one sloka I will recite. You just go through that. Okay. Pippalya Pipada Sukshmam Rajo Marija Janmava Chirakalanusaktapi Nasyatyashu Pravahika. Just go through this sloka, and if possible, as a pilot study, okay, just Pippalya Pipada Sukshmam Pippali Jurna or Rajo Marija Janmava Marija Janma or Chiragalanusaktapi Nasyatyashu Pravahika. Just Marija Urna or Pippali Jurna with honey. Just to try Samana Yogas. Just for, as you are doing your PhD, this for information.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
And one more thing I would like to mention, please look into in the Grahani aspect. There, according to the Avastha, he has told to take some medicine. Like in case of Amameva Vimunchati is told here, no? So that in that condition, if it is chronic, you have to give Ghrita with the Deepani. Yeah, Deepani Aushada, that is told. That is very much effective and very much important. And in other conditions also, yes, 2-3 conditions he has told. Those conditions we have to see, then it's very effective. There in Grahani Chikitsa, very nicely he has explained that.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Gauri Shankar sir. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Dr. Ashwati. Now, let's move on to the next presentation by Dr. Vinita. Dr. Vinita, please stay online and unmute yourself after completing the presentation and respond to the judges' questions positively. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning to one and all. Myself, Dr. Vinita from KMC the Medical College. Here I am going to present the effect of Panchanimbad Churna in Amlapitta. This is review. In Sushruta Samhita, Amlega, there is a term which is similar to Amlapitta. Kashyapa Samhita first mentioned Amlapitta as a separate disease entity. Madhava Nidana, the first available text, which describes etiopathogenesis and symptomatology. Acharya Charaka has not mentioned Amlapitta as a separate disease entity. Drug review. Here I selected Churna. Why Churna? Because of the increased shelf life, easy to store, more area of absorption and rapid dissolution in body fluids. Doses 1 Karsham, Anupanamas Madhu. Panchanimbad Churna has mainly 3 drugs, Nimba, Vrithadharuka and Sattu. 5 parts of Nimba are used here and seeds of Vrithadharuka is used. Nimba, the chemical constituents are 6-flavanol glycoside, extract wholly or partially responsible for the anti-inflammatory activity by stabilization of lysosomal membranes and anti-proliferative effect, and is useful in gastric ulcers. Vrithadharuka, the chemical constituents are ergine, isoergine, etc., and it is antiviral, antibacterial, and antimicrobial in activity. The sample size was 20 patients of either sex. Method of sampling, lottery method, and the study design was open trial. Panchanimbad Churna, 6 grams twice a day after food with honey. Duration of study, 1 month and follow-up done on 45th day. Inclusion criteria, age group between 16 to 60 years, and patient diagnosed the classical symptoms of Amlapitta like Avibhaga, Klama, Klesha, Tikta Amla Udhara, Gaurava, Kritkandadaha, Aruchi. Exclusion criteria, a patient suffering from other systemic illness which interfere with the course of treatment. And this was the scoring pattern. Other uses of Panchanimbad Churna, which is useful in Shula, especially Pitta Kapha Shula, and used along with sugar and cold water. Similar yogas are Avipatidara Churna, which is also mentioned in Aplapitta Adhigara by Shacharatnavali. Discussion. In Amlapitta, the Drava Guna and Amla Guna of Pitta increases and hampers the Agni. Pragupita Pitta and Anna Vishasamurchanam results in Amlapitta. Here we can adopt Sharat Ritcharya, Ruksha Guna, Shita Virya, Mathura Tikta Kashaya Rasa, drugs reduces Pitta. The probable mode of action in Amlapitta, natural Kadurasa of Pitta is converted into Vidakta Amla Rasa due to Agni Madhya by virtue of increase in Drava Guna of Pitta. Tikta Kashaya Madhura Rasa pacifies Pitta. Tikta Kashaya Rasa also reduces Kapadosha. Madhura Rasa promotes strength, pacifies Pitta and Vodha, and is useful in Daha. Churna given with honey, which has Kashaya Madhura Rasam and Rukshagunam, it helped to reduce Kaba and Pitta Dosha and had a role to subside Aruchi. This was the percentage relief on the symptom. For example, Gaurava, 65% patients got relief. With regard to the high percentage of the improvement in results, it could be concluded that Panchanimbad Churna is effective in the management of Amlapitta. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vinita. Now, let's look into the judges' opinion about this topic. Dr. Vinita, please be online and unmute yourself.
Okay.
I invite Dr. Raghuram Bhattacharya to have his thoughts. Sir, please.
Okay, it was a good presentation, and Panchanimbad Churna may be effective. The mode of action was also explained, but little more precise and detailed explanation was required. Otherwise, it was a good presentation. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Asha, ma'am, please.
You have given the age limit as inclusion criteria 16 to 60. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
It is manageable with the because 16 years the digestive power of Agni is more, I think, and after 50 years the digestive fire or Agni is deteriorating or decreasing. Is it a valuable suggestion from you?
Actually, ma'am, in the disease also, Agnimandia is there. To avoid the childhood and old age people, to avoid any other systemic illness also, I selected such a age limit, 16 to 60 years.
Little more explain, can you please?
I didn't get you, ma'am.
Is it 16 years? It is the digestive power of Agni is more, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Girisa, please.
What are the clinical conditions in which we can give this medicine?
In clinical conditions, in all conditions where Agni is reduced, we can select mainly in non-ulcer dyspepsia, gastritis, ulcerative conditions also, we can give Panchanimbadi Churna, sir.
Okay, and usual question, what is the rationality of maybe you have selected because of the fact that you want to do a research? But can you say that what is the rationality of selecting this drug than the other? That is why we have included Samana drugs. Okay, there's a concept that we have included. So what is the difference that it makes? Even though you have selected for a different purpose, can you tell, make a rationality of that?
Why I selected Panchanimbadi, sir?
That's right, that's right.
Sir, because one is, it is cost effective. Only 3 drugs are there, Nimba, Vridadaruga and Sakto. So to make it cost effective, I selected Panchanimbadi Churna. That was the first aim, and it was not a common drug which is used. So I want to prove its effect.
Whether it is availability, how about its availability?
Sir, it is not market available, but we prepared in our hospital.
That's for research purpose only. So
Yes, sir.
Anyway, it's okay. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, judges. Now, let's move on to the next presentation. That is the presentation of Dr. Lakshmi Priya S. We would like to telecast the presentation. Dr. Lakshmi Priya, please stay online and unmute yourself after completing the telecasting.
Yes, madam, sure.
A very good morning, dignitaries present over here. Coming to the title of this study, a critical review on Kravyada Rasa and unequaled formulation. Myself, Dr. Lakshmi Priya S, Assistant Professor, Department of Rasashastra and Vaishyakalpana, Paru Institute of Ayurveda. These are the contents of the presentation. Coming to the introduction part. As we all know, Kravyada Rasa, it is a herbo-mineral formulation. It is one among the Kalva Rasayana, among the Chaturvida Rasayana Kalpas. It is mainly indicated in Agnimandiya Janya Vikaras. The method of preparation of the formulation makes it very unique. Why? Because initially in Kravyada Rasa, we have to prepare a parpadi and then we have to go for the Vadi Kalpana. The formulation also highly reflects the concept of Bhavana as different liquid medias are involved in Kravyada Rasa. It is a widely practiced medicine in northern parts of India. These are about the references and prakarana from where 16 books of Rasashastra classics has been considered for referring this Kravyada Rasa. Coming to the Nirukti Kravyada, as per Shabda Kosha, it means consuming the flesh, carnivorous animal, fire of the funeral pile. As per Shabda Kalpadruma, in Rig Veda, it means Kravyam Mamsamidi. In Rajanigandu, Kravyada Midi Rakshasaha, Kravyado Mrida Bhakshane. As per Rasendra Chintamani, by Acharya Tundukanada, it means Kravyam Apakkum Mamsam, Adibhakshanam Idi Kravyad, Idam Evam Rasam Kamaraja, Evam Likidasmin Etha. Coming to the mythology part, this is the most interesting part of this study, and it is clearly indicates regarding the depiction of the mythology in Kravyada Rasa. As per Brihat Rasraja Sundara, Rasa Sangeta Kalika, Rasa Chandamshu, the yoga has been presented to King Simhala to increase the appetite by Bhairavananda, and in return he was gifted by 8 villages. Also, it was used by Lord Indra, Brahma, Bhima, and they became the voracious eaters. This is the references considered in the study from Ayurveda Formulary of India. The ingredients are Parada, Gandhaga, Tamra, Aya, Tankana, and Bidalavana and Marija. The indications are also clearly mentioned. The Anupana is Saindava Yukta Takra, and the Aushadha Sevana Kala is Bhojana, and it is clearly mentioned in the shloka. Coming to the differences in opinion among the authors, so the basic parameter considered is from the Vaishitya Ratnavali, and different authors' differences in opinion regarding the ingredients has been mentioned in this table. And coming to the Brihat Rasraja Sundara Rasyoga, there are different types of Kravyada Rogas mentioned. That is Laghu Kravyada Rasa 1, Brihat Kravyada Rasa, and also differences in Bhavana, Matra, etc. is also mentioned here. This is the special reference from Yoga Chandrika. Here the Anupana considered is Triphala and Takra. Coming to the drug analysis part, which is the vital part of a yoga. In this one, considering the drug analysis, we can consider the most of the drugs are of Kapha Vatahara in nature, and directly it is Deepana Pachana in nature, and it is directly showing the indication in Aktimandijanya Vikaras like Grahani, Adhisara, Arsha, Shula, etc. These are the ingredients. Coming to the method of preparation, so initially the kajali has to be prepared. Then we have to, as I already mentioned, we have to make the parpadi out of it in the Eranda Patra. Then it will be made into churna in Lohadarvi, and by adding Jambira Rasa, it has to be done paga. Then the Bhavana process has to be continued with the help of Panchakulavari, etc. And Tankana, Chuna, Bidalavana, Marija to be added to it. Again, Bhavana has to be continued with Chanakampuvari, and the pills of 2 gram size has to be made. These are the analytical parameters considered. Coming to the role of Bhavana, and as I already mentioned regarding the Bhavana plays a very important role in this formulation, Kravyada Rasa. This is review. As we know, Roga Sarve Apimantakno Sudara Mudaranija, a very beautiful lines written from the Ashtanga Hridaya Nidhanasthana. Coming to the probable mode of action, as the asamyak pajan of Anna will happen initially, so the Anna Rasa formation will be hampered. So the Uttarottara Dhatu Pravarti also will be affected. This results in the Ama Utpatti. Due to the Ama Sanchaya, Vikrita Avastha will be developed. And if the Ama Sanchaya is prevailing or it is increasing, it will develop into Shula, Grahani, Adhisara, certain diseases. So for the proper Amapachana and Samshoshana, Kravyada Rasa will be highly beneficial. These are the manufacturers with the price brand is 43 to 52 rupees. Coming to the conclusion of the study, as I already mentioned, Kravyada Rasa is a unique herbal formulation. The mythology depicts the potency of the drug, and the bridging of the parpadi in between reveals the identity of the formulation. As the preparation is found to be more tedious, it can be used in chronic cases. All the diseases arises due to Mandakni, and the correction should be done at its root level. Thus, Kravyada Rasa can play a pivotal role in Agnimadejanya Vikaras. These are all about the critical review of Kravyada Rasa. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi Priya. Now it is open for discussion. I invite Dr. P.V. Giri sir to express his thoughts. Sir, please.
Kravyada Rasa is good. And
Yes, sir.
First of all, the thing is that in a scientific presentation, the mythology, you have spent 2-3 slides. Again, in the conclusion, you have said
Yes.
that in the mythology proves the potency. That is, see, this is evidence-based medicine. That concept, we are doing 3-4 months courses for the faculties for Kuhas about the evidence-based medicine. And this is also like that. It's a scientific presentation. So there is a scope for development in your thought process and in the slides. This is very important. You have to give a second thought, because the mythology for understanding the real concept behind it. That's what, that is only my suggestion. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I too believe that further studies has to be conducted, sir. But
In the conclusion, mythology is not it's an unscientific thing, basically unscientific.
Sure, sir, sure.
So that's a concept. So in that way, we have to think, and in which, see, you have, actually, I should not say you have wasted 2-3 slides. actually in which are the conditions, specific conditions these drugs can be given?
Sir, thank you for the question, sir. As per what I have seen in our clinical practice in our hospital also, I have seen mainly it has been given in Amavada condition, sir. In chronic Amavada condition.
In one slide, you should have mentioned. See?
Sure, sir.
That's rather than concept of mythology. This is very important.
Thank you for the suggestion, sir.
So we have to improve a little bit. Anyway, thank you for coming and appreciating this by joining us. Really thank. But whatever it is, we are telling for improvement, for betterment.
Sure, sure.
So in that way, you have to take. Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Asha ma'am to express her views. Ma'am, please.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, madam.
Hello, doctor.
Yes,
You are well presented, and it is
Thank you.
appreciating. And one thing is, if it is you are planning to do in clinical condition, in which avastha you are giving this medicine?
Madam, thank you for the question, madam. What we observed here in our hospital and all, in case of chronic Amavata cases, usually what I have observed is we will be usually giving Simhanatha Gugulu and all in later stage. In such cases, when we were giving this Kravyada Rasa, it brought out very good results, madam. So in assay Rasashastra Vaishidya from the fraternity of Rasashastra and Vaishidya, so we were preparing that medicine, and the most important part is the preparation part itself was a little bit tedious, madam. So when we have given it to the clinical side, we got good result from the chronic Amavata cases, madam. So I think further scope of research is there in this medicine, madam.
Whether it is useful in AMA stage or Nirama stage?
Madam, AMA stage, what we observed is in AMA stage, it has been given in good results, madam.
Okay, okay.
Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Dr. Raghuram sir to express his views. Sir, please.
It was a good presentation. As
Thank you,
Giri sir and Asha madam said, improvement is required.
Yes,
and
sir.
you can look into that. And I don't have any particular questions to ask. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Gauri Shankar sir to express his views.
Dr. Lakshmi Priya.
Namaste.
Namaste. You have done very well. It's good.
Thanks.
I have some doubts about the treatment of Amavata. You are telling this medicine will work for this Amavata. I agree with you. Okay. So,
yes, sir.
Amavata is a disease caused by Ama in our body, in all our body. Okay. If Amavajana has done, whether can we stop the treatment or not? Whether that is a complete treatment or not. Then
No, sir. No, sir.
Then where we have to stop the treatment protocol? For Amavata, I am asking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for the question, sir. Sir, what I believe is what we observed in the patients in this chronic Amavata cases also. Initially, when this medicine, it has been given for 7 days. It has been given for 7 days like that. So it is not a wide spectrum study has been done. It was like a 2 to 3 single case studies like that it has been done, sir. So 7 days it has been done, and we find the Ama Lakshanas, that Rupa Lakshanas, where we got good results in that. So after that, it was continuing with the rest other medicines, sir. It was not a conclusive that with this Kravyata, Amavada has been cured, sir.
My question is not that one. In Amavada, you are giving your medicine. Okay.
Yes,
then
sir.
Ama is over. Amavada, Lakshanas are not there.
Has, sir.
Other medicines means what all are other medicines? What are all the rest protocol, the remaining protocol for this Amavada Yoga? That is my question. It's not a question, just whether we can stop there or not. That is my question.
Sir, if the Ama Lakshana, Nirama Lakshanas, if we have achieved like that, what I believe is by the Kravyata Rasa, it can be stored, but still Amritottara Kashaya like that, it can be continued for a time period, sir.
No, that's what I want to express here as a comment. You see, after completing Amavada Lakshanas, after relieving all the Amavada Lakshanas, we can give again Amritottara Kashayam is again for Amavajana only. Dr. Giri is working on that. Amavajana only for we are giving Amritottara Kashayam. But even then, after completing all the Amas, we should start with our Snehapana and all. Because in Sushrutācārya, in Sushruta Samhita, Chikilsasana 21st chapter, he says that Snehasaro ayam Purushaha.
Purushaha, yes.
That means not
sir.
completely relieved out of this all these things of these Ama Lakshanas. We should not complete that.
Yes,
That
sir.
treatment is not over there. We
Over.
have to go for Sneha
Yes, sir.
therapies, and the body should have some Sneha dravyas with it, so that this principle also will come satisfied. Snehasaro ayam Purushaha.
Purushaha.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so
then
much, sir, for
after that
enlightening.
only the treatment will be complete.
Stop. Okay, sir.
I think this is my opinion. I think
Sure, sir.
Dr. Giri also will be having some comments on this area, it seems, because he has worked on this Ama as well as Amrutottaranga Kashaya. Yes,
Okay,
over to
sir.
Giri. Over to Dr. Giri.
Okay, thank you, sir. And while we are discussing, because it's a encouraging part for the faculties and PGs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is why we have taken into this way of thinking. So I want to add one or two things, because the sir was rightly saying about this. When you said Amavada, I know that Gauri Shankar sir will be coming over. So he came because the level of thinking, the AMA, only in the institution, I am taking into consideration the practical difficulties of AMA Bhajana, because you can ask here that we are doing AMA Bhajana till we observe the AMA Bhajana, the submit the Lakshana. We will be doing the AMA Bhajana with oral or internal or external things.
Yes.
So that is the basic concept. And see, in the small translation of concept I am having is that the Ama Bhajana will occur in particular. This Kala has given. Langanam Swedanam Kalu Yavagu Tavadasara. Though Kala means after 10 days, 7 days, it will be over. But in a chronic illness, the dosha gidi is Tiryak. So Prayak Tidyagada dosha, Kleshi and the Adiram Shidam. So in that, the AMA is there. So I have taken the PhD subject as RA, the AMA Vajana effect of Amrutottaranga Kashaya in RA. Okay. So in RA, AMA is there even though it is a chronic illness. So that is the concept, translation of concept, that the time is not working over there. So that is an important. In that case, what type of treatment should be given? Not the Shodhana. Shamayatan Prayogena Sugamba Koshtamani. Yatva Koshta Prabannamcha Yadasannam Vinurkare. That is the concept. So that is what Sir was telling. After Ama Bhajana, you have to do. So you can start as you said. But remember, Ama is an important factor. Thank you for patient listening. Thank you.
Sir, thank you for enlightening with the thoughts. Sir, sure, I will look into it. That's
Thank you, Giri sir. Thank you, Gauri Shankar sir. And thank you, Dr. Lakshmi Priya.
Thank you, madam.
Dr. Navneet Krishnan, Assistant Professor, Kaya Chikitsa Department, Vaidyaratnam Ayurveda College, Ulur, is now with us. He would like to share his thoughts about this session. Sir, please.
Morning to all. Just I would like to explain some clarifications regarding the organizing side. Am I audible, sir?
Hello, it's feeble, sir.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay. In this non-competing session, there were 51 presentations. There 30 presentations were from the faculties or practitioners and 20 from PG students. Papers from the organizers also we included in this session. And some presentations we got in last minutes. So that also we included in this session. Actually, later our decision was to select 6 papers from this group. But as per the advice from the judges and their remarks, we selected 8 papers from this group. So that one only presented here. That paper is only presented here. Thank you for all judges for the support from the organizing side. And thank you, congratulations to all presenters. Thank you.
Now, it is a time to wind up this session. I feel this session was so live and informative due to the active participation of the delegates and judges. Thank you all. Thank you, judges, participants, and delegates. And thank you, the Praditya team, for being with us. Our next session, Jnanagni Prasaram, will start soon. Please stay online.